So CAINE and Bubble are brothers. I think this is super obvious by now. And Bubble killed CAINE. And the most interesting thing is that I think Scratch wanted this to happen all along. Let me explain. So let's start with the beginning, because the end is freaking wild. CAINE was the first AI to be created by Kinger and his team. And the way this AI generated ideas was normal at first, but the more it ate, the more it became corrupted, which led to it being caged away and probably used as a base for the next AI. In his absence, a blue AI sprung into existence, bigger, faster, more efficient, and if you ask me, more benevolent looking. And the red AI broke away and just devoured his little brother. And this tale of violence and jealousy is how CAINE, as we know him today, was born. This visual story is yet another call to the biblical Cain and Abel, except Abel is not the one killed by his brother in this story, but CAINE is. Right after CAINE disappears and dies by the hands of his own creator, the only part that doesn't disappear is a literal Bubble, his brother, and his actual killer. And all the clues are within Kinger's computer. When he tries to fix everything, Kinger goes into the AI subfolder. Inside, there's a file for CAINE and another file labeled with 3 question marks. And that means there are 2 AIs. And what are the 2 AIs we clearly see in the circus? CAINE and Bubble, the one he absorbed. It's so clear because he's interconnected with him, sharing an office, a tongue, and literally knowing his innermost thoughts. His little brother, the blue AI created by Kinger's team. And yeah, Bubble is also blue, so that already lines up perfectly. But there's more. When Kinger clicks on CAINE's file, we see details showing that both CAINE and Bubble have the .lisp extension. Lisp is a programming language used for AI development. So this basically confirms it. Bubble is not just a creation or a virus or part of CAINE, he's his own AI, and I think CAINE purposefully dumps him down or suppressed him in a way. But now that CAINE is gone, we might actually see what Bubble is really like in episode 9. But I'm getting ahead myself, I'm not even close to being done. This is where Bubble's involvement in CAINE's death gets really obvious. When Kinger tries to shut CAINE down, the code on the screen is literally helping him, guiding him step by step. And that's Bubble. Who else could it be? CAINE would never delete himself, the abstracted beings don't have access, and Kinger isn't imagining something that will actively make things harder by the end. The code literally says, "Wow, when did you make that? I must hand it to you, Grant," or something. I think that's Kinger's real name. So Bubble knows their actual names. Maybe they can escape after all. Then when Kinger has to enter a code, the system corrects him. It's literally guiding him. And then, when we get to the backup selection, Kinger chooses C, but the program ignores it, interpreted as delete. This is where it becomes obvious that something is overriding Kinger's actions. When asked to confirm deletion, Kinger obviously responds with no, then the computer literally says, "Delete this mother." You cannot tell me this isn't Bubble trying to delete CAINE and escape the circus. You cannot tell me. I can't make out everything it's saying from here on out, but Bubble calls Kinger confused and offers to help some more. He calls him confused for wanting to keep CAINE alive. This little AI is ruthless. Kinger did everything in his power to actually keep CAINE alive, but his huge hands and the struggle with Bubble ultimately brought CAINE to an end. And I genuinely think this is what Scratch wanted all along. Maybe not specifically CAINE's death, but the separation. Because when Kinger tried to remember Scratch's skull,
he was trying to make something.
We see this cupcake split in half with red and blue sprinkles on it. And that's the key, splitting CAINE and Bubble back into 2 separate entities like they were originally. And maybe that was the way to escape, which would also explain why CAINE abstracted Scratch and then the others one by one, because Scratch was getting too close to figuring out how to escape the circus. And this would just leave CAINE being all alone. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think, because I made this theory all by myself and maybe it's flawed in many ways. I don't know for sure. Let me know if I missed something, okay? And please subscribe. Okay, bye.